of our federal government. And Jackson, who grew up during the time of segregation in Tennessee in the 50s and 60s, understands a lot. Actor Samuel L. Jackson recently sat down for an interview with Esquire magazine, where he did not hold anything back when giving his thoughts on not just the current administration, but pretty much the Republicans at the top about what it means to be oppressed, what it means to be treated as not quite a human being. And according to what Jackson told the magazine, he sees those same behaviors.
Trump's latest enemy? It's not fake news or Democrats, it's the English language. Watch as he tries to tweet his way out of Samuel L. Jackson's epic burns. Who knew golf could be such a tricky word?
Little kerfuffle that you and Donald Trump are in. I just wanted to know, are you surprised that this has become a thing in the press?
The things that need to be dealt with presidentially, he's worried about me saying that he cheats at golf, or that he doesn't really.
But these are his exact words. I'm angrier now about it than I was then.
Trump's Twitter fingers are working overtime, but his spell check seems to be on vacation. It's like watching a toddler try to pilot a jumbo jet of insults. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Picture this. Our favorite orange friend is sitting on his golden throne, probably munching on a Big Mac when he spots Samuel L. Jackson trending on Twitter. Oh boy, you know what that means. It's time for Grumpy Trumpy to show who's boss in the Twitterverse. Trump's tiny fingers start twitching, ready to unleash a tweet storm of epic proportions.
Oh, this. Let me see. Can we get this on camera? Would that be a bill from Trump National? I think it is.
Why do you think he's saying?
I don't know. I don't care. You know me? Is that what the deal is? Wow, that's awful. Let me see. Let me fix that. Let me find something that might help me with that. Yeah, come on, he has to say, whatever he has to say, he has to say. You know, and it's one of those interesting things that he called me one day to play golf, not to play with him, but to play with a friend of his. And I went to play with that friend of his, and that friend of his turned out to be Bill Clinton.
He's gonna teach that Hollywood elitist a lesson, right? Wrong. As it turns out, our very stable genius can't even spell Samuel correctly. I mean, come on, it's not exactly Cuffy level difficulty, is it? So there's Trump furiously tapping away on his phone, probably with ketchup-stained fingers, trying to insult Samuel L. Jackson. But instead of a scathing comeback, what does the world get? Samuel Jackson. Not once, not twice, but multiple times. It's like watching a spelling bee contestant who forgot to study, except this contestant is supposedly the leader of the free world. But wait, there's more. Our linguistic luminary decides to up the ante by calling Jackson a no-talent hack. Yes, you read that right. Talent with a capital T, because apparently grammar rules are for losers and fake news. It's like he's trying to invent his own language. Trumpies, anyone? As you can imagine, social media exploded faster than Trump's ego after seeing his name in a headline. Twitter users, armed with their wit and keyboards, started roasting Trump harder than a coffee bean in a hipster cafe. One clever user quipped, "Trump's spelling is about as accurate as his claims of election fraud." Ouch, that's gotta hurt more than a spray tan gone wrong. But our Donnie Diapers wasn't done yet. Oh no, he had an ace up his sleeve. Time to change the subject and bring up Jackson's golf game. Surely this would be the knockout punch, except he managed to misspell golf as goff. At this point, you have to wonder if he's doing it on purpose. Maybe he thinks spelling errors are like golf. The lower the score, the better. The internet, being the savage beast it is, went into a frenzy. Memes started popping up faster than Trump's lawsuits. One particularly hilarious one showed Trump as a confused spelling bee contestant with the caption, "I know words, I have the best words." Well, he certainly has words, just not in the right order or spelled correctly. It's almost poetic, isn't it? Trump, the man who loves to dish out insults like they're government secrets, utterly failing to land a single coherent jab. It's like watching a toddler try to insult an English professor. Adorable, but ultimately ineffective. While Trump was busy having a Twitter meltdown, Samuel L. Jackson was about to show him how it's really done. Picture this: Jackson, cool as a cucumber, sipping a drink on a late-night show, about to lay down some truth bombs that would make Trump's tweets look like nursery rhymes. The host casually brings up Trump, and you can see that mischievous glint in Jackson's eyes. It's like watching a master chef preparing to cook up something spicy. And boy, did he deliver a 5-alarm roast. Jackson kicked things off by comparing Trump's presidency to a bad straight-to-DVD movie plot. He said, "You know those straight-to-DVD films where the villain is so ridiculous, you can't believe anyone would fall for their schemes?" Yeah, that was the Trump administration, but unfortunately it was real life. Ouch, that's gotta hurt more than a fake bone spur. Speaking of bone spurs, Jackson didn't let Trump's infamous Vietnam draft dodge slide. He quipped, "I've had some pretty convincing injuries in my movies, but even I couldn't pull off that performance." It's like he's saying, "Nice try, Donnie, but leave the acting to the professionals." But Jackson was just warming up. He took aim at Trump's self-proclaimed stable genius status, saying, "Trump calling himself a stable genius is like me calling myself a world-class ballerina. Just because you say it doesn't make it true. The only thing stable about Trump is his ability to consistently make bad decisions. Looks like someone's been taking dance lessons from the Ministry of Silly Walks." The audience was eating it up, laughing and cheering as Jackson delivered zinger after zinger. It was like watching a comedy sniper taking out targets from a mile away. No wonder they called him a walking, talking punchline factory. The material practically wrote itself, thanks to Trump's non-stop antics. Jackson didn't stop there. He took a swipe at Trump's infamous "very fine people" comment, stating, "I've never seen very fine people marching with tiki torches and chanting racist slogans. Must have missed that audition." It's like he's saying, "Sorry, Trump, but I don't think those folks are gonna win any Oscars for their performance." But the real showstopper came when Jackson channeled his inner Jules Winfield from Pulp Fiction. In a powerful reference to his iconic character, he declared, "The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. I have had it with these mothering snakes in this mothering White House." The audience went wild, probably half expecting Jackson to pull out a wallet that said "Bad Mother Trucker" on it. Jackson even took a shot at Trump's leadership skills, comparing them to a toddler trying to pilot a jumbo jet. He said, "It's all fun and games until you realize the plane is actually in the air and headed straight for a mountain." Talk about a turbulent presidency. And let's not forget about Trump's infamous hair. Jackson mocked it, saying, "I've seen more convincing wigs in high school theater productions. At least those kids admit they're playing make-believe." Looks like Trump's comb-over is about as convincing as his claims of election fraud. Alright folks, it's time for the main event, Trump's big comeback attempt. Spoiler alert, it's about as impressive as his ability to drink water with one hand. Our orange friend, still smarting from Samuel L. Jackson's verbal beatdown, decided it was time to show the world he could dish it out as well as he could take it. Spoiler alert number 2, he can't do either. Trump kicked off his counterattack with a real head-scratcher. He claimed he'd never seen a Samuel L. Jackson movie. Yeah, and I've never seen a Big Mac. It's about as believable as Trump's hair color being natural. The internet, being the internet, wasn't about to let that slide. Faster than you can say snakes on a plane, Twitter was flooded with lists of Jackson's iconic films. It was like watching someone try to argue that the sky isn't blue on a clear sunny day. But Trump, never one to quit while he's behind, decided to double down. He tried to insult Jackson's acting skills, tweeting, "Samuel Jackson couldn't act his way out of a paper bag. Overrated." This coming from the guy whose most memorable performance was pointing at Macaulay Culkin in a hotel lobby. It's like a kindergartner critiquing Picasso's brush technique. The irony of Trump critiquing anyone's acting chops is richer than his gold-plated toilet. This is the same guy who couldn't even convincingly play himself on The Apprentice. His attempt at looking like a successful businessman was about as believable as his spray tan looking natural. Not content with embarrassing himself just once, or twice, or thrice, Trump then decided to brag about his Apprentice ratings. He tweeted, "My ratings on The Apprentice were huge, bigger than anything Samuel Jackson ever did. People love me, sure Donnie, and people watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians for the intellectual stimulation." The internet, bless its heart, decided to educate Trump on a little thing called facts. They ratioed him harder than a calculus textbook. Did you know that Samuel L. Jackson is one of the highest grossing actors of all time? His films have collectively earned over $27 billion at the box office. That's more money than Trump claims to have on a good day. But wait, there's more. In a move that surprised absolutely no one, Trump challenged Jackson to a golf match. Because nothing says I'm a serious political figure like challenging an actor to a round of golf. It's like challenging Gordon Ramsay to a cook-off when your culinary expertise extends to microwaving a hot pocket. Now, imagine for a moment Samuel L. Jackson on a golf course with Trump. Picture Jackson yelling his trademark phrase every time Trump tries to cheat, which, let's be honest, would be every other swing. It's almost worth hoping this match happens, just for the entertainment value. Finally, in what he probably thought was a mic drop moment, Trump tweeted, "Samuel Jackson, you're fired." There's just one tiny problem with that, Donnie. Jackson doesn't work for you. He never has. He never will. It's like trying to fire the mailman because you don't like the bills he delivers. Alright folks, just when you thought this Twitter tussle couldn't get any wilder, enter the MAGA brigade and their, unique defense strategies. Spoiler alert, it involves more mental gymnastics than a Cirque du Soleil show. So Trump thought he dropped the mic, but the internet was just warming up. You know how the internet loves a good roast, right? Well, they took Trump's spelling boo-boos and turned them into a meme fest that would make even the grumpiest cat crack a smile. Picture this: Samuel L. Jackson looking cool as a cucumber in his Pulp Fiction pose, holding a dictionary instead of a gun. The caption, "English motherfucker, do you speak it? Ouch." That's gotta sting more than a paper cut on Trump's Twitter finger. But wait, there's more. While the meme machine was churning out gold faster than Trump's hairstylist can say comb over, his loyal supporters were busy trying to put out the dumpster fire. Their brilliant defense strategy? Claiming that the big man was too busy making America great again to worry about silly things like spelling. Yeah, because nothing says stable genius like not knowing how to spell golf. It's almost like they forgot that presidents are supposed to, communicate effectively or something. Meanwhile, Samuel L. Jackson was probably kicking back, sipping on a cool drink, and watching the chaos unfold from his Hollywood mansion. Talk about unbothered. It's like he threw a verbal grenade and then just walked away in slow motion while everything exploded behind him. Now, that's what I call a boss move. But here's the kicker. While Trump was having his little Twitter tantrum, his team was running around like headless chickens trying to do damage control. It's like trying to put toothpaste back in the tube, but the tube is on fire and the toothpaste is screaming. Good luck with that, guys. The meme culture around this whole fiasco just kept growing like a really annoying, really funny fungus. It's almost as if people enjoy watching powerful figures make fools of themselves. Who knew? But here's the thing. All these memes and jokes aren't just empty calories for our brains. They're actually shaping how we talk about politics and celebrities. Think about it, Jackson didn't even have to lift a finger, and he still managed to influence the conversation. It's like he's the Jedi Master of Shade, and Trump's the stormtrooper who can't hit the broadside of a barn. This whole incident got people talking about how celebs can sway public opinion just by being witty. It's not all coffee and games, folks. In the end, if we're keeping score, and let's face it, we totally are, Jackson came out on top. The internet basically handed him the trophy for best roast of a president who can't spell, while Trump was left fumbling with his phone, probably trying to figure out how to turn off autocorrect. Well folks, it looks like our orange friend Trump got himself into a real pickle this time. Samuel L. Jackson just schooled him in the art of roasting, and let me tell you, it wasn't pretty for old Donnie. Jackson's zingers hit harder than a Marvel superhero, leaving Trump fumbling for his phone and probably a dictionary. But here's the kicker. This whole mess shows us something important. Turns out humor and political commentary isn't just for laughs. It's like a secret weapon that can take down even the biggest egos. Jackson didn't just entertain us. He took a wrecking ball to Trump's credibility, and all it took was a few well-placed jabs and some Hollywood charm. So remember, kids, in the Twitter battleground, it's not about how loud you yell or how many followers you have. It's about how smart you are with your words. And in this round, Trump showed up to a battle of wits completely unarmed. Oops.